Hi, I didn't see you there. Come on in. My name is Apsara, and I live in Weston, Massachusetts, where it's sunny and warm. I just graduated from high school, yay me, so I'm relaxing. Today I was planning on making some music with just this. I know, right? It sounds crazy. But it's super easy, and I think you guys will like it. So let's get started. The materials needed for this project are 1 bottle, a pitcher with water, an online tuning website. I used a website called Tuner Ninja, recording software. I used GarageBand that is free on Mac computers. Alternatives on Android are FL Studio Mobile and Music Maker Jam. The last thing you need is headphones. For this task, you will be blowing into a bottle. There is a proper form to how it's done. This image of me blowing into the bottle shows the proper form. Notice how my lips are placed slightly above the top of the bottle. When you blow into the bottle, the air vibrates inside. When the water level in the bottle is low, there is more air in the bottle. This means that a longer wavelength is produced when you blow inside of the bottle. This, in turn, produces a lower frequency and a low pitch. Conversely, more water and less air produces a higher frequency and higher pitch. Once you've mastered the bottle technique, you now have to find a song and gather all the information you need on it. I chose the song "The Less I Know the Better" by Tame Impala. First, I looked up the sheet music of the song so I could figure out what notes I needed. I scrolled through the music to find some information on it. I first figured out the key of the song. The 4 pound signs indicate that this song is in E major. I then searched for the BPM or beats per minute of the song, which turned out to be 116 beats per minute. I then went back to the score to figure out what notes I needed to play the bass line. The bass line is the top line of music I put in a box. This is the bass line played on the website. It's now time to set up our song. The first step is opening up the app and creating a new empty project. To create a line of music that's a recording, I'm going to click on the Record Audio button. The first thing I'm doing is saving my project to make sure I don't lose any of my work. Now for a few notes on the controls of GarageBand itself. The button with 1, 2, 3, 4 counts in before you record. The metronome button next to it, when turned on, keeps a consistent beat. This button tells you the tempo. Earlier in the video, we found out that the tempo of my song is 116 beats per minute. This is the play button, this is the record button, and this is the stop button. When I click the play button, that little line moves along the screen. That line is called the playhead. That tells you where you are in the song. When I press the record button, since I've selected the count in button, it gives a 4-beat countdown in the tempo of the song before it starts recording in the track I have selected. To stop a recording, just press the record button again. Here is me recording a few more sections so you can see how it's done. To delete a recording, you can just click on it and press delete on your keyboard. To move a recording to a new spot, you can just click on it and drag it around with your mouse. To crop a recording or shorten it, you can click on the lower half of the end of it and drag that until you get the desired length. To have a recording loop or repeat, just drag the top half of the end of it. You can use the button in the top right to toggle the view of your piece. When zoomed out, you can see more of your piece, but when zoomed in, you can see all of the little details. This view clearly shows each number and how each number contains 4 beats. These beats are notated by the little markers right under the numbers. When you zoom in, you can see more space between each beat, and there are more mini markers between the beats in each number. If the song needs it, a track can be placed in between beats by using the zoomed in view in order to achieve the right rhythm. I am now returning to the music to figure out exactly which notes I need. The notes I need range from a low B to a high F sharp. There are 13 total notes that I need to record. It's now time to organize. First, I'm creating multiple tracks and renaming each of them as the note name that I will record inside of that track. This helps keep the workspace organized. To create a new track, I click on the plus button. Then I select New Audio Recording. To rename the track, I right-click on the old name and type in the new name. The first step to recording is plugging in the headphones. Then I make sure to identify the side of the headphones with the microphone. This is the microphone on my headphones. To tune my water bottle to get the desired note, which in this case is F sharp, I use the online tuner and blow into my bottle and pour water out until I get the desired pitch. To record, I hold the microphone slightly away from my face and blow into the bottle multiple times while recording on GarageBand to make sure I get the perfect note. I then crop the recording to make sure my perfect note is separated from the others. I then drag the note back to the beginning and press the mute button on the track to show myself that I have finished recording that note. I then recorded the next note, E, and this is what they sound like. Once all of the notes are recorded, it's time to piece the whole thing together. I have now finished recording all of the notes, as you can see on the left-hand side. I am now returning to the sheet music to figure out the exact rhythm of the bass line that I'm going to put together. Now that I've studied the rhythm, it's time to put the notes in place. I click on the track of the note I want, right-click on the recording of the note, and press copy. Since this note, C sharp, falls slightly after the second beat, I find the space between beat 2 and beat 3 in number 2 and paste the note there. When you paste the note, it's important that it falls on the same horizontal line as the note name track you created. I am now cropping the note to make sure it only lasts a small amount of time. I am now repeating the process with the next 4 notes. I'm making sure to place them in the exact right spot. This is the intro to the song. I will be back when the entire bass line is recorded. I have now set up the entire bass line, so here it is. To make sure my music is organized, I combine all the notes into one block. Let me show you. First, I drag my mouse and hold down over the notes that I want to select. These are the intro notes. Then I click Edit, Join Regions. The program combines those notes into one little block. I then drag that block into the track labeled Intro. I then repeat this process with the bass line. I drag the block down to the track that I have labeled bass. I then use the looping technique described earlier in the video to make sure the bass line repeats. I included some other fun aspects to the bass line. I still have my intro and my bass line. The bass line is the core of your music, but the cool thing with software is that you can add other layers to it very easily to make it sound amazing. Remember, we're still using the notes we recorded using the bottle. I added some chords, which are notes layered on top of each other. Remember that this piece is in E major, so I added 3 chords in the key of E major that are repeated. I then added a riff, which is some extra notes to give the music some depth. I added a drummer, which is a preset on GarageBand. Just pick a drummer that sounds fun. The last thing I added was a melody, which is the notes the singer typically would sing in the song. This is what it sounds like all together. And that's it. Pretty simple, right? I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So pick up a bottle and get right to it. Thanks for watching.